Hey, welcome to Axe Root Homestead. I'm Angela. If you're new here, this is my 6-acre permaculture farm in central New Jersey. I use 2 Clydesdales for pulling around the homestead. And that one there is Finnegan. He is my gelding. This is my Clydesdale mare, Dozer. On average, each Clydesdale drinks roughly 35 gallons of water per day. That means I am constantly cycling water through my water trough every single day, which means it's okay for me to have goldfish in my stock tank. Let's talk about how goldfish are contributors to our farm ecosystem. Today I'm going to talk to you about our new water recycling program, or the way that we're reusing some of the water from our water troughs. I have 2 100-gallon stock tanks here in the horse stable area. We believe in keeping goldfish as a means to getting rid of mosquitoes. We've had the same goldfish for about 4 years. They overwinter. Any algae that naturally occurs on the side of the stock tank actually helps to oxygenate the water. Though we clean it weekly, algae is inevitable, as any horse owner knows. But the point today is not to talk about keeping fish in a water trough. The point is to talk about how we reuse their output as a plant input. So let me show you our setup. Here's the stock tanks. Here we have a boardwalk here because this is naturally a low-lying area. Previous owners put a retaining wall around where we put our stable space. On the other side, I have 2 65-gallon terracotta color rain barrels. The reason that they're here is because I want to be able to easily hook a hose to the spigot that's on the back of this rain barrel and hook it up to my water trough ball bearing valve with the spigot joint. Because this is retaining wall with a very steep drop underneath here, I can take advantage of gravity. No pump is required in order for me to drain the stock tank and put all that manure water from the fish into the rain barrel. The first thing that I did when installing the system is put a thin layer of drainage rock in the bottom of each rain barrel. This invites microorganisms to live amongst the rocks, and they feed on a lot of the bacteria that is growing in the water. The next thing that I did was remove the hardware that came with the Rubbermaid stock tanks. The hardware is considered to be an oversized 1.5-inch pipe with threads, and that isn't easy to find fittings for. Instead, I put in a 1.5-inch valve and a hose extension hookup so I can simply open the valve when needed and attach a hose. I did a light coat of Flex Seal around the joint to keep everything watertight. When we're ready to go ahead and harvest the water, I remove the fish and put them aside in a bucket. Then I take the spigot that's in the back of the rain barrel and attach the other side of the hose. After that, it's just a matter of letting gravity run its course. I open the valve on the stock tank and allow the water to drain without worry of the fish getting hurt because, again, they're off to the side in a bucket. All of that manure-filled fish water now is draining into the rain barrel for storage. When I'm ready to use the water for plant application, I just hook up a hose to the front spigot on the other side of the rain barrel. So the reason that I'm interested in doing this whole entire system is because otherwise when I'm cleaning the trough about once a week, because you can't have too much algae buildup on there, all that water is just sort of going down this little storm drain that we have. We're on a well, and it leaks right into our grassy field area that we have over here. I'd rather capture that water, especially because it's full of so much nutrients. Fish manure, just like any other farm animal manure, is loaded with nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, microorganisms, all kinds of beneficial things that plants can really use. But because it's already in water form and usually pretty dissolved because they're in a water stock tank, it's a super easy form of usable nitrogen for plants.